everyone, it's Sarah, and today I'm going to talk about the LUNAR Chronicles. Alright, so earlier in June, I participated in the TBR Takedown, and the first book that I read in this TBR Takedown challenge was Cinder by Marissa Meyer, and this is the first book in the LUNAR Chronicles. But I loved it so much that I had to go buy the rest of the series, and then I ended up binge reading all of them. Which wasn't exactly taking down my TBR, but what are you gonna do? The only reason I am only holding up one book is because I listened to the rest of them on audiobook. I will probably be purchasing hard copies of these books, though, because I loved them so much and I would like to have them on my shelf. So, Cinder is the first book in this series, and it's a futuristic retelling of Cinderella, where Cinder is a cyborg, which I thought was super cool, and was one of the reasons that I wanted to read this series in the first place. And just look at this cover. Is this not, like, the coolest cover? Actually, I think all of her covers in this series are pretty good. So the next book in this series is Scarlet, and that is kind of a retelling of Little Red Riding Hood. And the third book in the series is called Cress, and that's kind of a take on Rapunzel. And then she has kind of a novella in between the third book and the fourth book called FAIREST. That's sort of loosely based on the evil queen from Snow White, and it's told from the evil queen character of this whole series, her perspective. The fourth book is called Winter, and that is coming out in November, I believe. That's going to be a take on Snow White. I think with each of these books, they just got better as they went on. I really enjoyed Cinder. I found it to be a little predictable in parts, but you know, it's a retelling of Cinderella, so to a certain extent, you already know what's going to happen. But I really enjoyed Cinder. I would say I enjoyed Scarlet a little bit more, and Cress was my favorite of the whole series. I would say definitely pick up these books if you are into futuristic kind of science fiction, or if you're into fairy tale retellings. Even if you don't like fairy tale retellings, but you do like science fiction, or even if you're not typically into science fiction, but you like fairy tale retellings, I think you should still pick it up, because I really think these books are accessible, and I think that a lot of different people would get into them. One of the things that I enjoyed most about these books was the very strong, dynamic female characters. I really loved that Cinder was a very gifted mechanic, and I really loved that Cress was kind of a super hacker. Those both being sort of characteristics that you would see mainly in males in science fiction books. I really enjoyed Marissa Meyer's writing style. I thought that she had very unique descriptions of things. I really liked the world that she created. It was very intricate and detailed, and you really got the sense that it could really happen. Even the kind of more magical aspects, they were kind of described in a way where the science sort of made sense, which I feel like is the best science fiction, when it's kind of like, when it kind of makes sense from a scientific aspect. Even though it's not, real science that exists right now, you get the sense that it could exist. I also really enjoyed the romances that she created in each of these books. They're all very different. I think everyone who has read these books has kind of a favorite. I think my favorite is definitely Cress and Thorn. I think Thorn is my favorite of the male characters in general. A lot of people didn't like FAIREST, I think, but I actually really did. So in this world, there are a bunch of people who now live on the moon, and they have lived there for generations, and they've kind of evolved to have these sort of mind control powers. So the general conflict throughout this whole series is that Queen Levana, who is the queen of the Lunars, is trying to take over the world, basically. So FAIREST is told from Levana's point of view. I really enjoy kind of seeing the story from the villain's perspective. I really liked when Gregory Maguire did it with Wicked. I wasn't crazy about the book Wicked itself, but I thought the idea was very interesting. I really like it in TV shows where, you know, they kind of give us a different perspective. I've been getting into the show Once Upon a Time lately. I've been watching it on Netflix. I'm only like in the middle of season 2, but already there have been some kind of, you know, exploring different perspectives of people who are presented as being evil. Anyway, so FAIREST kind of reminded me of that. Now, I don't think that by reading FAIREST you're going to be completely sympathetic for the queen or feel like she's a likable character. I mean, she's still evil. It doesn't make any of the things that she actually does okay, but by reading the book, you understand how she is the way she is, and it really kind of shows her journey of going from this sort of naive, vulnerable girl and then becoming the evil queen that she is in the first 3 books. But I really enjoyed reading this series. It was probably the best experience I've had reading a series in a long time. I don't think I've had that experience of like needing to binge read the whole series back to back since, I don't know, maybe the Hunger Games. I also want to say that the narrator of the audiobooks, Rebecca Solar is her name. She does an excellent job making everybody's voice sound distinct and different. She had to do so many different voices, different accents. They go to different parts of the world throughout these books, and I thought she just did a really good job. I listen to a lot of audiobooks, so it really sticks out to me when a narrator is exceptional, and I would say that she definitely is exceptional. So if you do listen to audiobooks, these are great audiobooks to listen to. I thought the character development was really good. I thought that the way that she developed each of the relationships was really nice, and they all had kind of a distinct feel to them. I really liked the development of Cress and Thorne's relationship, and Cress's character development in general was really cool because she kind of starts out the book being this sort of naive, mentally unstable teenage girl who's been stuck in a satellite with essentially no human company for years. So that's where she starts out, and then throughout the course of the novel she really just kind of steps up and becomes a really interesting dynamic character. I also thought it was really cool how she wove the fairy tales in with the futuristic science fiction, and how with each book she kind of built on what she had done in the previous book and gave you more perspectives, and I really just thought the way that she wove it all together was very well done, and you get the sense that she really planned out everything that was going to happen before she even wrote the first book. I don't know if that's what she did, but that's how it felt reading it. And yeah, I've found a new writer that I really admire, and I am excited to read the last book in November. I wish it was coming out sooner. That's all I can really say without getting into spoilers. Let me know in the comments down below if you have read the Lunar Chronicles and which character is your favorite. I'm really interested in hearing different people's takes on that. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you want to see more videos about books or about writing, sometimes about music or TV shows. And that's it for me. Thanks for watching. Bye.